So there's not many things in life that I will admit that I'm wrong about. And really, I'm not wrong very often, if we're being honest. But one thing that I might be wrong about is last year I said that the Dallas Cowboys, there's absolutely no hope for them in the next few years to win a championship, given the way that they had spent money, given the fact that they had traded Micah Parsons, given that it seemed like Jerry Jones was increasingly and increasingly taking ownership of this team from a logistical standpoint, not obviously a revenue standpoint, but from a logistical standpoint, making decisions, overriding scouts, overriding everybody. And I was like, hey, all these things considered, like you're going to score a lot of points, you're going to be great, you're going to be the NFC version of the Bengals. And I just didn't see the Cowboys for several years being a contender, especially. And then we had the Eagles, who were the defending champs at that point as well. Washington Commanders had gone to the NFC Championship game, so it was not looking good for Dallas at this time last season. Now, flash forward to this year, present day, and I look at the Cowboys and I say, "Damn it, do I got to eat my words a little bit?" I think they've had a hell of an offseason. And I think that their defense has made major improvements. Last year, their offense was just fine. It was one of the better units in the NFL. Their defense was horrendous with a capital H. Like every part of that defense was bad. But you look at the defense now and you say, okay, you have a new defense coordinator. You got Matt Eberflus the hell out of Dallas. That's a start. You added Christian Parker, who we don't know. He's never been a defense coordinator before, but there's always hope with a new coordinator. So we'll see. Been with the Eagles forever, worked under Fangio. The biggest pieces to me, though, are the fact that Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. That is massive. Overshawn is coming back. I know he played just very little last year. He's going to have a full offseason. He's going to be healthy. They added Rashawn Gary. They added other pieces to their defensive line. And I'm not expecting the Cowboys defense to be what Seattle was last year or what the Houston Texans were last year or what Denver's been the last couple of years. If they can be average, this Dallas Cowboys team is going to be very dangerous because the offense will put up points. George Pickens is back. Javonte Williams is back. Dak is consistently good year in and year out. We know how good CeeDee Lamb is. Their offensive line seems to always be really good. It seems to get kind of rebuilt every 3-4 years and end up being really good. If the Cowboys defense is average or let alone above average, we are looking at one of the, I think, 3 or 4 best teams in the NFC. And I hate saying that about the Cowboys because count me as a Cowboys hater. Like every year, we them boys, we going to the bowl. You haven't been to the Super Bowl since, VHS was the primary form of media consumption. But regardless of that fact, I do think they have actually built a really strong team. And if their defense, which I think improved a lot this offseason, can be average, man, they're in a good spot. So that's my optimistic look on the Cowboys. I know you might steer me back to reality, but I don't get Cowboys fever a lot. So this is something to be noted. Like I don't like hype up the Cowboys every offseason like everybody else does. I'm not like Skip Bayless or one of those guys. But this offseason, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty bullish on Dallas.
You know what your Seattle Seahawks showed me last year?
That you can win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold.
Okay, they did, but they also
Got
showed me that sometimes all you need to really take that big jump is a changing coordinator, right? That could be offensive, that could be defensive. But look at how Ryan Grubb, gone, get him out of there. And then suddenly you have Clint Kubiak come in, and he has a vision. He knows exactly what he wants that offense to look like.
Yep.
Give me Sam Darnold, right? Geno Smith's gone, okay? We don't need DK Metcalf out of here anymore. Get rid of him, right?
We're going to start throwing the ball at number 11.
That just retool the offense, right? Not completely rebuild it, just retooling it. Christian Parker comes in. Give me Jalen Thompson, right? Give me Caleb Downs. Give me Rashawn Gary. We're going to a 3-4 system. We're going to get rid of one of our highest paid defensive linemen. Okay? They're doing all this stuff that just completely reinvents the identity. They're going from a Matt Eberflus defense that was all about spot drop zone, and now we're going to see split coverage. Damn near split field coverage pretty much all the time because this is a Vic Fangio guy. That's what he likes to do. 3-4 system, moving from a 4-3. Bring in one of the most traditional 3-4 outside linebackers in, NFL history. When I think 3-4 outside linebackers, I think, Rashawn Gary, right? Like that's one of the guys you think about because he just like plays that position. You think about him, and then you think about like Leonard Floyd. Like just a traditional 3-4 outside linebacker. You could drop him back into coverage. You could have him go ahead and rush the quarterback. You could do a little bit of both. We're looking at a defense that is completely different from last year, but that doesn't make it bad. It's just different. And when nothing was working from that defense last year, why wouldn't it be completely different? Why wouldn't you retool everything? Jalen Thompson, love him as a safety. Having him along with Caleb Downs, who should be the other safety, night and
Yeah.
day. Night
Yeah.
and day. Now a full season of Siobhan Revel, who I thought started to show a little bit of something later in the year. I feel really optimistic. And again, Quinnen Williams, right? Him
The
being there full
one
season is going to be
hindrance they
different.
still have on defense, I think they've gotten better at defensive line. I think they've gotten better at obviously safety. Um, but their corner room is still pretty weak to me, and that is scary. Don't get me wrong, because I know Diggs is basically long gone at this point, or he is long gone at this point. Bland is kind of still there, and I think he's been a liability for a little bit now. So I worry about him. And they didn't, to my remembrance, add any other notable corner additions this offseason. So corner's still an area of weakness, but in fairness to them, you can't improve your entire defense in one offseason. It comes in batches, right? You can't acquire 12 players in one offseason that are going to be, new starters. Like that's impossible. So I like the way that they've gone about it. I really like the fact the video released, I think it was today or yesterday, of their like draft phone conversation with Miami to trade up. And we said it during the draft. We were like, hey, they're trading in one spot. This seems silly, but it's actually very smart because they do not want to get jumped for Caleb Downs. Clearly, this was a player that was very, very high on their board. And I applaud the Cowboys for getting that done and making him a priority. But no, like I said, the other thing, the thing with Dallas last year is they had a personnel problem. Yes, they did. Trading away Michael Parsons will do that to you. They also had a schematic problem. Like Matt Eberflus was not helping in any way. If anything, he was hindering them. So when you add better personnel, you get guys like Overshawn back from injury, and you add a fresh face in the coaching staff in Christian Parker. Is Christian Parker going to be Buddy Ryan? I don't know. I don't maybe think so, but it would be pretty hard for me to see him not as an improvement over Matt Eberflus. So again, you improve all these areas slightly, a lot, whatever. You're looking at the Cowboys defense. Like I said, I don't know that they're going to be the Seahawks or the Texans or the Broncos. I think they're going to be, if they're the 18th best defense next year, Cowboys, what, they win 12 games, 13 games?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, if you take what their offense was last year with Dak and with CD and with Pickens and all those guys, and you drop that into a team with the 18th best defense, they're 12-5 at worst. I mean, like seriously, they probably win their division. Honestly, with the way the Eagles played the second half of the year, they probably win their division.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Dallas
yeah,
Cowboys, they're going to be a better defense, and them being a better defense might just be enough. It might be enough. Hey, the Eagles, they're going through something right now. All the
yeah, they are.
A.J. Brown, everything that came out about Jalen Hurts. Who knows what that team's going to look like? Dallas Cowboys could easily win that division. Dallas Cowboys could easily go a distance after winning the division because playoff
Oh
football
man.
in Dallas, I know they don't win a lot in the playoffs, but that doesn't mean it's easy to play there. You know?
Um, I mean, I don't know if they would have a home playoff game. I'm not
If they,
predicting.
if
I'm
they
not.
win their division, why wouldn't they? They'd get at least
Well, if
one.
they're I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I guess.
Well, yeah. Well,
You are
that's what you
right.
just said. They win the division.
Oh, honestly, the other best case scenario for Dallas, say they don't win the division and they're the 5 seed. Well, then they get to play the winner of the South, and they're going to go to Tampa. They're going to go to New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, whoever, and go kick their ass. And then second round, they're going to have to go up to like Seattle or Los Angeles or maybe Philly, like one of those places and play
So
one of the
once
top couple
again, you're
seeds.
speaking pessimistic into the. Let's be the delusional. Let's LARP a little bit. Let's be the delusional Cowboys fans here.
Okay,
I,
I'll put on my Skip
I
Bayless hat. If I put on my Skip Bayless hat, here's what I would say. I
okay.
would say the Eagles have too much drama, and their quarterback is like making headlines because he's uncoachable, yada yada,
Yep.
whatever. They're on their seventh. He's on his seventh play caller in 7 years. Cool.
Which
The
that's not a
Commanders,
crazy thing to say. So let's start off with
but
that.
that's not.
Not crazy at
It's
all.
not crazy. The other thing that's not crazy is to say that the Commanders' 2024 run was more of a fluke than it was sustained success because they really didn't have the players of an NFC Championship team. They just kind of made the right plays in the right situation. Which again, credit to them, but they're not exactly an NFC Championship talented level team. Okay, cool. Then you could say the Giants. The Giants are the Giants. Like you really don't have to convince yourself that hard. They got Matt Nagy calling plays. Okay, cool. So say we win the division. Who's our competition in the NFC? Well, two top dogs clearly are Los Angeles and Seattle. Seattle has Sam Darnold. Again, if I'm a Cowboys fan, putting my Cowboys hat on, they have Sam Darnold. And the Rams, we uh I don't know how what the optimism would be around the Rams. They actually got a
Stafford
lot
gets
better.
hurt. I don't know.
Stafford gets
You're
hurt.
playing Ty
You know,
Simpson.
you know.
Okay,
Well,
so
maybe
like
we're
fine,
like
maybe.
Carolina and we beat them. We're like Carolina and we have them on the ropes, and then CD makes a one-handed catch in the end zone and we win the game. Like I don't know. I think you can make an argument that they could beat pretty much every team in the NFC
Well, that's what I
with
mean. And honestly, I would say only the Seahawks and Rams will be a crazy stretch.
yeah, those would be the only two teams. Like, could they beat the 49ers? Yeah, I think so. I think the
Absolutely,
49ers are a
absolutely.
weaker version of what they've been. The Eagles, they could beat them. Absolutely. They could beat whoever wins the South. Could they beat Detroit? Could they beat Green Bay?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
I'd
think
say so. Absolutely. I think
yeah,
even
it's
in the
not unreasonable.
AFC,
Yeah.
even in the AFC, what teams really scare you, right? Right now,
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Honestly, the
With Joe
NFC,
Brady
the,
now as the
the
head coach, I don't know how
the
that defense
tides
is
have
going to look.
flipped. Let's be clear. The tides
Yep.
have flipped from what it was a couple years ago. The NFC is the powerhouse conference now.
Yeah.
And the AFC, it's like, well, the Bills, yeah, are great, but rookie head coach and their defense is horrible. Okay, well, the Ravens, they have a rookie head coach and, their running back's getting old and Lamar had a
Mm-hmm.
couple down years. And, well, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes coming off torn ACL and they won 6 games last year. And the Bengals defense is horrible. And you could make a really good, like, weakness for every AFC team. But the NFC, it's like Seahawks are damn good. Rams are damn good. Really no weaknesses on either
I
one of
don't
those
think.
teams.
I don't even think it's close. If we're talking about one team that missed the playoffs last year, that's gonna go ahead and have a glow up this year. I don't think there's anyone even close to Dallas. If I were to rank a few.